Machine learning is quite a big buzzword these days. It's been around for a long time, but these days its applications are wide and far ranging, from computer science to genetics to even the social sciences. Now, from the outside, it seems like an abstract science, a little obscure, heavy on the math, difficult to understand, a little bit like rocket science. But it's really not. Like anything else, if you take the time to understand it from first principles, you'll really get what's going on. We'll take an example and walk you through how machine learning is useful in this particular example and what you can do with it.
Okay, let's get started. What is machine learning? When is it appropriate to use it? When should you use it instead of, say, something like a rule-based approach? That's what we'll cover in this class. If machine learning is a car, this class will tell you what a car is, why you should drive it, and when you should drive it. Let's consider the problem of spam detection. Have you ever received a lot of emails from people who are trying to sell you stuff and they just clutter up your inbox? This is what's called spam. Say you use any email service and suddenly you started getting a lot of emails from people trying to sell you stuff or getting you to sign up for things that you are not really interested in. These can blow up really quickly and start cluttering up your inbox and just obscuring the real emails that you want to see. These are generally called ham emails, and the irrelevant ones are called spam emails. Wouldn't it be nice if your email service would be able to automatically detect or filter out the irrelevant emails or spam emails so that you would never have to see them? That's exactly what Gmail and a lot of other email services do. They filter out emails or spam emails from your inbox before they even reach you. Now imagine that you work at a large email service, something like, say, Gmail at Google, and you need to do the same thing. You have to actually solve this problem of spam detection. What you need to do is to figure out a way to test if emails coming into inboxes are spam or ham. Ham is what non-spam emails are called, as I just mentioned. The basic idea is that you would be able to monitor the attributes of different emails that are coming into inboxes, and some of these attributes would be able to tell you whether that email is a spam email or a ham email. So it's your job to figure out how do you automatically mark something as spam. One way of doing this is to use something called a rule-based approach. What you would do is you would define a set of rules. These are things that you would check for before you allow an email to pass into an inbox or before you mark some email to be spam. How do you come up with these rules? Some are intuitive and logical, such as, say, all the emails from people in your contact list are not spam. Some would be based on domain knowledge, such as emails from certain kinds of IP addresses which generally spammers use should be marked as spam. Some would be basis some study of patterns in historical data. So you would have to spend a lot of time, have a lot of domain knowledge to actually figure out what the rules to be used are. Let's say you did all of that, you spent weeks or months on it and came up with a certain set of rules. These are the rules that you came up with. Any email from a certain IP address or email ID is spam. You found that there were a list of emails or IP addresses from which the emails are mostly marked as spam. So let's maintain a blacklist of emails and IP addresses. You would create this blacklist after studying the patterns in some historical data. Just like you have a blacklist, you could always have a whitelist as well. You can say that any email from a contact of a contact is not spam. So all emails from your contacts and their contacts are whitelisted for a particular email. These are ruled based on the sender of the email. You could also look at what the email actually contains. what the subject is and what the content is. Any email containing a certain set of words which you know to be spammy can be considered spam. These could be words like sell or offer or things like that. These are just some examples of different rules that you can come up with. You can have a lot more complex rules as well, such as an email from a certain IP address with a certain frequency, and if the recipient has not opened X% of those emails, something like that. A very complex rule could also be set up. Great, you have done all of this and you have set up a rule-based system and it seems to be working well. Not just that, don't forget you've put in a lot of effort to figure out what the rules are. Now the problem with a rule-based approach to a problem like spam detection is that the rules that we can come up with are rather static and they change really slowly. What does that mean? As you could see, most of the rules that we came up with above consist of some lists, like a blacklist, a whitelist of senders, and a blacklist or a whitelist of words. Now, maintaining these lists and actually updating them is a very cumbersome process. Not just that, any production system which implements these rules would be difficult to build and hard to update with new rules. Say you want to add a new rule or you want to update the list of an old rule. On the other hand, the behavior patterns of spammers are pretty dynamic. So they are really smart and they can figure out what you're doing and they change super fast in response to those rules. For example, they'll immediately figure out that one IP address or email ID is being blocked and start using a new email address or IP address. They can also respond really quickly to the words being marked as spam and start sending different kinds of emails with different words or different titles. Or there might be new spammers that are coming up with who use different words and you have not taken that into account. Now, an alternative to a rule-based approach, what might that be? I think not so heavily reliant on having an analyst or a modeler who will take a long time to understand the patterns in the data, or someone with a lot of domain knowledge of how these spammers work. All of this was not taking into account something that was available to us from the beginning. The users themselves are marking each email as spam or ham. If they mark it as spam, it's spam of course, and if they don't, then it's a ham email. You could figure out the patterns in the kinds of emails that are explicitly marked as spam by users. Let's consider for a second that there was some way to look at all the data that's explicitly marked as spam by the user and automatically figure out what the patterns in that are. Then what you do when a new email comes in is to check whether that email conforms to these patterns or not. Now, what might these patterns be? We'll get to that in a bit, but let's consider that you could do it. If yes, we'll mark it as spam, and if not, we'll mark it as ham. This is basically what a machine learning based approach is. What is the key difference here? The use of the data or the emails that are explicitly marked by users. That is the difference. Let's just go through each method again and see what the key differences are. First, let's see the rule-based approach. We'll start with an input, which is an email that is coming into some inbox. This email is then passed through an algorithm which applies the rules that we have come up with. So it checks this email and its attributes against all of those rules. The output is a verdict which says whether this email is spam or ham. So the algorithm that applies the rules is the program, the email which came in is the input, and the spam or ham verdict is the output. Now the main thing to note here is that this approach is static. the algorithm that applies a rule doesn't really change based on whether it's working or not. Once somebody sets it up, there's no real feedback loop. It's just static until you go and change it again. Remember that users are giving us feedback on the quality of the algorithm. They are marking emails as spam explicitly, or the emails that you are marking as spam, they might be marking as not spam. But this rule-based approach is not taking that into account at all. This static algorithmic approach is missing out on the opportunity to improve itself based on feedback that user actions provide. It's not taking into account feedback that is available to it. So what happens? The spammers are really smart. They keep masking their IP addresses, changing their email IDs, and they alter what they are seeking to sell. They change the words and the content of their subjects and the emails. And a rule-based approach will slowly just fall behind. It will not account for all these changes that are happening. It's just inevitable that it will become obsolete. Let's move on to the machine learning based approach. In this approach, we'll have a similar setup. The input or the email comes in. It passes through a machine learning based spam classifier. Pay attention to the term classifier. This is actually a standard term that's used in machine learning. Then it actually checks with a corpus. This is a large body of spam and ham emails. How did we get this corpus? These are the emails that are explicitly marked as spam or ham by our users. It gets some input from that large body of spam and ham emails and uses that to do its classification. Then it outputs a verdict, whether that email is spam or ham. What is the key difference between this and the previous example of the rule-based approach? The machine learning-based approach varies its algorithm. The box which contains the algorithm or the program is changing based on what the data tells it. So it adjusts itself based on the data. The corpus is dynamic and can constantly be updated with the user's input. Since there is a dynamic input mechanism that's existing and the algorithm keeps adjusting itself based on that, it will not fall behind like the rule-based approach did. It will always keep up with what is happening in the real world. This feedback mechanism and varying the algorithm based on the data is what identifies a machine learning approach. On the other hand, the rule-based approach was static. It did not have any way to update itself based on what the data tells it, and therefore it became obsolete and fell behind. Remember, we never said anything about which approach is more complex. In fact, the amount of effort that goes in and the number of rules that you would have to come up with to be really effective would make it such that the rule-based approach could be more complex. So it could be more complex but less accurate or less up-to-date. In any case, it's not complexity that is the defining characteristic of a machine learning based approach. The defining characteristic of a machine learning based approach is that it adjusts itself based on data. The algorithm that is used to classify something or to produce an output adjusts itself based on the data. This is the defining characteristic of a machine learning based approach. So we've seen what machine learning is. We've seen what a car is. So now that you know what a car is and when you can drive it, it's time to learn how to drive. We spoke about how our ML based spam detector could learn from a corpus of data. Learning just means identifying what the patterns are in that corpus of data and using them to make decisions in the future. The corpus is just a word for a large collection of data. It could be a large body of documents or text or some data that you want to use. Here, the emails explicitly marked by users as spam or ham is the corpus. So, what are some of the ways in which we could learn from a set of data? How do we drive? Let's cycle through a few different techniques in the next couple of classes. This will help you understand what kind of possibilities are there.